the hardest part of being an artist wasn't before I was signed. It was once I got signed. That was when I had to grind the hardest, which is usually when you think you can let up a little bit because you have a major machine backing you. Not the case. I mean, you know, I'm pretty out there with everything that goes on behind the scenes with me. I'm pretty personal. A lot of people know what's going on. A lot of people know my situations. But I mean, I can't even answer that question because I think the best thing I have coming out, or the best way to answer that question is this thing I have coming out. It's a documentary. And I mean, you want to talk about like juicy, like, oh shit, I didn't even know I didn't even know it was like that. Like, you want to talk about like that? This documentary shows that to the T. You know, it shows a side of Puff we haven't seen, a side of myself we haven't seen, a side of, you know, my management we haven't seen. You know, it just shows what really goes into trying to make a big impact in music, and how hard it is when you have like this kid you believe is going to be a superstar and blow up like this. You know, it shows like what happens when it doesn't go like that. We all thought it was gonna, like, my success was gonna be immediate, and I mean, and it's so slow. You know, it's like, you know, we thought we were gonna be in the BET Awards, winning awards, and it was same with everything else. So, you know, all of this, the journey to chasing a dream is definitely what makes actually achieving the dream much better. Me and Puff definitely do not always get along, you know, but like Puff always has my best interest in his mind and in his heart. So, but then also you gotta think about, man, like me and Puff live completely different lifestyles. You know, the one thing we have in common is like the hot-headedness, you know, and so like, well, you know, he kind of steps in when he sees me making the same mistakes he was making. You know, what damaged his brand back when he was younger. You know, he tries to keep me away from doing the same thing with my brand. And sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to feel the wrath after I mess up. But I mean, I think that's cool than someone that just letting me fall all the way on my face before, you know, he'll like, you know. I mean, he also fights for me too, though. It's not all bad, you know. I think, like, you know, a lot of times it's funny, you know, whenever we're in the same city, we always link up. But like I said, man, it's just two different lifestyles. Really, like, it's hard for me to not be starstruck when I'm around Puff. It's really awkward to be like, I'm telling you right now, man, it's so awkward to be on like the same, like, to be on a couch and be talking to Puff and like, you make a joke and he's like, you know, you're like, oh, that was so whack. Why did I say that? That was so corny. You know, like everything is like everything. I analyze everything when I'm around him, because, you know, I'm still a fan of everybody that I meet. So I don't know how to not be starstruck. You know, I'm gonna have a song with Tech Nine and Twista, which is exactly what the fans wanted to hear. You know, like that was a big collaboration for me. I got Bun B on there. I got Lil Jon on there. Oof, the song me and Lil Jon got is called Lace Up. I've never made a song called Lace Up. I was like, fuck it, we gotta do one. And when Lil Jon came in to the studio to do it, I was like, you're not getting on the song to be the anthem of my movement if you don't truly understand this. And we just sat there for about an hour, and I just ran through, you know, just countless amount of fan tattoos with Lace Up on them, showed him countless amount of show footage, countless amount of messages from fans, and he was just like, yo, this is real. Like, what? And to where the point where he was like, he was like, I gotta get on the song, and we did it, and it was like the real Lil Jon that you want to hear on it, and it's this, man, it's something that, like, we were like, should we take this to radio? And then we were like, nah, radio, we wouldn't understand. You know, it's something that, like, you know, the radio would play, they would think it was about tying your shoes, but it's something like that. My fans, when they hear it, they're gonna be like, oh my god, and it's a fun song. On my album, I didn't tell you one feature I had. It's a crazy feature. It's the first track on my album. The intro is actually, it's probably one of the greatest metal groups to ever do it, and one of the greatest lead vocalists I've ever heard in my life. And he's on there. Can't really say who it is because I want that to be like the surprise. I mean, some people, I'm sure it'll go over their head, like, what? But, you know, for those who, you know that world, they'll be like, yo, I can't believe that collaboration happened. Never met Eminem. Really want to. Obviously, that would be a fan favorite if an MGK Eminem song ever went down. I mean, the best rapper alive, in my opinion.
Is that kind of your dream collaboration?
Yeah, I think the DMX and MGK thing was a dream collaboration. and next to that was the Eminem and MGK collaboration. So like, you know, if those two could be knocked off, I don't have any more on my bucket list really.